Hello and good morning everybody. My name is Nick, and in today's video reflection I would like to talk about a counter argument that a lot of people have expressed to me about one of those philosophy of life, if you will, that I hold on to, which is frugality. Um, so I will talk about this. I will talk about what I think about it, and I will talk why I think and I agree with the Professor Jiang that said that consumerism is the perfection of slavery. And yeah, today I will be holding a cup of coffee, even though it's empty. I already drunk it because it gives me a little bit of a sense of coziness, if you will, every time I see someone in the videos do that. But anyways, so I just finished actually writing an essay longhand here about this subject, and I call it "Death as a Justification for Consumerism," and this is what we're gonna talk about today. So forgive me if I'm gonna look down just to keep myself from rambling and just to stay on track with the discussion. So the argument against my philosophy of life is a simple sentence which people usually use, which is, man, you should enjoy a little. Life is short. And which I found extremely interesting, and I found extremely reasonable. And it's a thing that I struggle with a long time, which is to what degree, like, why I think that saving money is important, and why and how this relates to not enjoying the present for something of advantage in the future, an advantage in the future. And I found really this topic really stimulating, and I would like to do a short reflection to talk about it with you. So I think that this argument has two main points, two main punches that it throws at the frugal person. All right, the first one is enjoy. So the word enjoy, enjoyment, the concept of enjoyment. And the second one is life is short, which is the death part, or if you want, the mortality part of the argument. So it's something that I might agree with. We should enjoy our present moment, and we might die tomorrow, and all that kind of stuff. But I have two main problems with this argument. The first one is the assumption that if you don't spend money, you are not enjoying your time. So the assumption that there is no other way that enjoying than spending money to enjoy. And the second one is that it uses a natural thing like death as a pretext, a justification for um, spending money. So I would like to start with a little anecdote, if you will. I won't talk about myself just too long. It's gonna be just a little bit of context for my for my situation. So I live abroad. I'm currently living in my van, and I'm traveling around Australia. and I'm from Italy, and I left my country in 2022. And since I left my country, I've been living in different places, and I've been speaking and have a conversation with all sorts of different people, most of them immigrants like me. And I find I was really shocked, and I found astonished the how people deem a country good to be living in based on the variety and the quantity of things to do and place to go. So I was speaking actually just the other day with a colleague of mine from Italy, and he was saying that he actually didn't like this part of Australia because that it was not enough to do. There were not enough clubs, pubs, shops, and if the one that they are that exist, they usually close really early in the night, and so one cannot really spend the night out. And I found this really depressing in a way, because it means that we are so brainwashed by consumerism that we are willing to move elsewhere just because we don't have enough places where to spend our money into. So like basically where people, or at least in my experience, tend to choose a place based exclusively on what kind of how many different pubs there are to spend the night, or how many different shops where to buy clothes and are there, and stuff like that. I found this depressing because it means that you, like, the subject, the person is not at ease with himself enough, and so um he seeks and he seeks enjoyment and comfort elsewhere, outside. And not because I think, not because it is his pleasure to do those things, but because he feels like he must do those things. If those things, uh, if those things are not present in his life, he will have to go elsewhere, regardless of how good his life is there. If there is not this component of enjoyment, he might go elsewhere. And I reflect on that, and I'm currently reading the book by Henry David Thoreau, Walden. And in this book, he says, and I quote, "The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation." And I found this quiet desperation. So I found this quiet desperation because if I had to tell these people that my favorite way to spend my free Saturday night would be to read a book in silence with my partner, they will find this absolutely depressing. Whereas, like, I found depressing the fact that the necessity of going out, and so is really the need to occupy yourself and your time rather than a want. All right, and this is what I think Thoreau meant in 1845 with quiet desperation. I think that people say they're enjoying the outside world when in reality they are they're run away from something. I think they tell themselves the story that they like noise because they cannot handle silence. And I'm saying they in this argument, but actually I was like this. I found myself in this I found myself in this situation too. I was just anesthetizing myself. I was escaping from something. I couldn't handle to stay in a room by myself for 30 minutes or an hour reading a slow book, or not doing anything, or just wandering around, have taken a walk, you know. And so I empathize with these people, and that's why I'm making this kind of video. And I read somewhere that the capitalist motto of this society that brainwashed us to think that way is, are we having fun yet? And this is so key to me, because it means that we are using enjoyment not anymore as a byproduct of doing what we want, but enjoyment became the goal itself. It became the reason why you go out, so that you can have fun, and that use that fun to don't think about other stuff. That's why I found this super depressing. There is nothing to me more depressing that people who laugh all the time because if they stop they might begin to cry. And so I don't I don't like this kind of stuff. I don't like to go out very much. I don't go to restaurant. Like I don't see those things as necessary um, to live a good life. But at the same time, I'm not a monk. I'm not like I go out with friends. I have friends, and I do buy nice stuff. I do go holiday. I do go to restaurants and spend money. The point that I'm trying to make is that those activities are, let's say, 10% of the total of activity I do in a in a year. Okay, is the 10%, and the rest of the time you might wonder what I will do for the remaining 90%, and the answer is wondering, thinking, writing, reflecting on those kind of things. These are the things that makes my life worth living. Reflecting on a subject that I want to clarify my thinking on, and then share it with people. And reading, chatting with a friend, with a loved one, with a parent, have a walk, these kind of things. And here comes the punchline. Those things are mainly free. They're free. They cost anything. And so when if I said this to you, you might say, "Oh, good for you," and that's great. But if I add that because the things are completely free, this allows me to save 70 to 80% of my salary every month. This allowed me to work for 3 years in another country, and now I'm moving to Australia, buying a van and working 6 months per year. That's what I did last year. And then you, at that point, when the monetary aspect of it, the monetary advantage of this came up, people might start to think, return to the initial argument, like, oh my god, man, you should enjoy a little bit, like money will not come with you underground, right? And this brings me to the second part of the argument, which is mortality and death. So money will not come with me underground, and which is true, but I can use those money um, as a way to buy myself independent. I'm independent in the future. I will do what I want as I'm basically do right now. Not because I won the lottery, but because it's a natural byproduct of my lifestyle. Because I'm not doing this. I'm not living a life of deprivation, and doing depressing things in order to save money so that I can one day be free, but is a byproduct of dismantling the consumistic uh, brainwash and ideology and we live in these days. Is by dismantling, so like taking a step back and go, okay guys, good for you, but like I realized that I'm not enjoying that, and I will go for something else. And this is a rather painful process, because it makes you under the spotlight and feel like you are a weirdo, or that you are an outsider. And I saw a lot of friendship you know withering because of this reason. And it's sad, because I have nothing against using money to buy stuff, but when using money, spending money is necessary to buy yourself a little moment of contentment, that is not, it doesn't give you a free choice. You're not free anymore of doing something else with those money, because otherwise you will not feel happy anymore. And so this is what consumerism is, the perfectionism of slavery, because there is no better slave for the elite of the one who does not know to be a slave and likes his cage. So I think there was, I don't remember the name, forgive me for that, but someone said that consumerism is the end of history, because it's a perfect system. It's perfect. is the perfection of slavery, because now there is the elite who finally found a way to make all the other people staying where they are because they like it. They think they like it, without realizing they cannot exit the loop, because otherwise they will be miserable. And so let's return to death. Okay? So the second part of the argument is life is short. Okay? So this life is short, it means like, don't stop yourself. Don't pause to reflect upon what the enjoyment means to you and what makes you actually happy, but instead go, 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 run, 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 hurry up to the mall, right? And if the argument of using money in a way that the current ideology um, deems enjoyable is an excuse for um, is if the main I'm sorry, if the main argument for continuing doing what the ideology think is enjoyable is death, mortality, which is like a natural thing of life, is like saying that because you will be hungry again tomorrow anyway, you better up, like, you know, ingurgitating as much food as you can today, right? And but you don't do that because it will make you sick, correct? So it's like it's like oh, you will in any case you will be hungry again tomorrow, so today you must consume all the food you can. All right, don't limit it yourself to the little portion that makes you happy or makes you satisfied, and then store the rest of the food for another day, but eat up all that you can, because in any case tomorrow you'll be hungry, and hungry is a thing of life, right? It's an inevitable. Hunger is inevitable, and so is death. And here I want to quote Jacob Fisker, the author of the Early Retirement Experiment book and blog, which I strongly suggest you to go check it out, that says, but with your degree you could earn so much more money. Indeed, Jacob said, and if you increase the frequency of your breathing, you could gulp up so much more oxygen. But you don't do. But you don't, because you have all the oxygen that you need. And this is exactly the point. Money is a tool. But spending money is a tool to achieve something. But when spending money is the only possible option for contentment, it becomes like a chain, and a heavy one, and it makes one think he's free, but he's a slave. He's a slave to consumerism. And so mortality is not a good reason to screw up the present and the future. All right, I might save money because I might buy myself time tomorrow. I might give it to charity. I mean, it feels good to have an extra amount of money that in case something happen or this van get fired all of a sudden, I'm not under bridge, right? It feels really good because life is unpredictable. In the same way that even if it doesn't feel good to go to the gym, once should go anyway, not because of vanity, but because it's good to be healthy, and because in the my future self will thank me for doing that, for taking care of my body. It's like saying, why you go to the gym? You're gonna die anyway one day, right? Going to the gym is a choice, because once you're free to make that choice. Whereas if going to the gym was the only thing that makes people love themselves because of how they appear, then they are a slave to the gym thing. And so I have nothing against spending money, and I don't think frugality is a way for misery. It's just I would like you to use this video, this idea, to really pause, slow down, and question what is that makes you happy. And you might find out, as I did, that mostly of the things are completely cheap, right? You don't need much money to have a conversation with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your loved ones, having a walk with a friend, or reading a book for the pleasure of it, or reflecting on stuff, or journaling, or writing, or painting, or whatever it is your thing. And that is freedom. That is freedom. And so I conclude my essay and saying that you might find out that those things are mostly free, and that you can free yourself by doing them. And I will just wrap it up here, I think. I hope this was of use to you. If you like to see my complete essay, the essay I wrote about this topic, it will be on my Substack. I guess when I'm gonna create it, the link is down below if there is. Otherwise, it means that it doesn't exist. But if you want me to send you the essay, even though it's on paper, but I can transcribe for you, send me an email, and I will be happy to have a conversation with you, and a follow a follow up to this a little bit of reflection. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you finish your coffee as I did, and see you in the next one.